Okay, everybody, welcome. It's week 9, and we've got some surprises this morning. That's why we're a little bit late. We are reacting to Brian Robinson Jr. being declared inactive after all indications were that he was going to play against the New York Giants. We were excited about him. He's out today. So what does that mean for Austin Ekeler and for Jeremy McNichols in a really good matchup against a team that's giving up over 5.3 yards per carry to running backs, and they are favored in that game as well. Also, Amari Cooper is inactive, not a total surprise, but something that we will be reacting to. And we welcome you to Fantasy Football today, and we're here until about 12:55 p.m. Eastern, and I hope you all haven't been waiting an hour in case you didn't turn your clocks back. Anyway, Dave, what I did have a bit of a scare this morning, but what can you tell us about the Commanders running backs, what you think they will look like going into this game against Giants?
So here's what they look like in week 6. They took on Baltimore. Keep in mind the Ravens played with the lead in that game. We saw Austin Ekeler play almost 70% of the snaps. He had 11 of the 12 snaps on third downs, 4 of 6 snaps inside the 10. Jeremy McNichols played the rest of those snaps and bled over a little bit when they used 2 running backs. Ekeler and McNichols did work together. I wonder if the percentages change a little bit in McNichols' favor given the matchup against the Giants. This is a game where the Commanders should be playing either competitively, meaning it's a back and forth game, a one-score game in the second half, or with the lead. And in that case, I think we could see a little bit more work for McNichols and a little bit less for Ekeler. I'm still going to rank Ekeler ahead of McNichols. I'm curious how Heath has it ranked, and that's regardless of format. But they're going to be very close together, right along the border of that number 2, number 3 type of fantasy running back. But if you're dealing with bye weeks, if you've got running back question marks that you don't want to deal with, McNichols is somebody that you can go and grab off the waiver wire and use this week, and maybe even expect maybe as many as 10 non-PPR points if he scores a touchdown.
I think the touchdown is going to be very key for Jeremy McNichols. The last time, as you talked about, they played Austin Ekeler 50% rush share, Jeremy McNichols 11%. Austin Ekeler 15% target share, Jeremy McNichols 0. Now McNichols has scored 3 touchdowns this year. Austin Eckler's only scored 1. And so you're hoping, I think, that he gets a short yardage touchdown run. I'm going to have him ranked just a little bit ahead of Roschon Johnson, but I do not have these 2 backs near as close. It's kind of one of those situations where the projections, honestly, have Austin Ekeler at like RB6 and Jeremy McNichols at RB40. And I'm going to bring them a little closer than that because I don't want to rank Austin Ekeler as a top 12 running back. But he's been like that one game when Brian Robinson was out, he was not effective. But he has been extremely effective this season when he's touched the ball. And I think he's going to touch the ball 15 to 20 times in this game. And the Giants are terrible against running backs. So I'm starting Austin Ekeler everywhere I have him.
Yeah, I thought Ekeler would be rostered in fewer leagues. He's 92% rostered, so you can't really go pick him up. But if you could, then it would be a great idea. I'm starting McNichols over Chestnut. That was someone that I was going to start in a running back spot, but Tony Pollard's going to play today. And I don't know if is that official, that game.
Not official. We'll know in a little while.
No, but we'd have the inactives by now.
I think it is official.
He's not inactive. So
okay, so there you go.
So no more Chestnut. Into the lineup goes McNichols, but that's basically, it's like desperation here. All right, we can answer some questions, and we'll be doing that throughout the show. And if you're watching on Twitter, by the way, welcome. Josh Jacobs or Austin Ekeler, half PPR. And that's the other game we need to talk about because it is going to be very rainy and maybe a little bit windy in Green Bay today. Not ideal weather. I am sweating out a Baker Mayfield versus Jared Goff decision here, but the Chiefs game could be rainy too. So, all right, Jacobs or Ekeler?
Jacobs.
Jacobs was the other guy who got a big boost from me in the rankings today. I have Ekeler projected higher. I'm going to also, you know what? Let's split it up. I'll go Jacobs in non-PPR. I'll go Ekeler in full PPR. I just think, like, you want me to talk about the Green Bay game, Adam?
Yeah.
Because, and this is, I'm on an island here. So Dave should immediately rebut what I'm getting ready to say because he and Jamie don't agree with it at all. But we have a quarterback with a groin injury who is going to play in Jordan Love, playing against a quarterback who has never given us any indication that he is a top 12 quarterback when playing outdoors in Jared Goff. And it is supposed to rain for the entire game with a sustained wind of 15 miles an hour and wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour. And as I said on FFT Express, Adam, I generally you have to use something as a barometer. You can either react to all weather, react to no weather, or set like a line of here's where I'm going to react to weather.
Yeah.
My very blurry line is when Kevin Roth puts a game as an orange, I'm going to react. If he puts a game at a red, I'm probably not going to play anybody. He put this game at orange, says you can, by the data, with this type of forecast, expect passing numbers to be down. We have seen, I haven't checked it lately. I'll check right now. We've seen already a small move towards the under. It's at 47.5. I think it might have been 48 or 49 earlier in the week. So not a huge move there. But I just think we're going to see fewer pass attempts and less effective passing than what we should have projected earlier in the week. I'm not starting Jordan Love or Jared Goff. They are not top 20 quarterbacks for me.
They're in the process of moving down my rankings for me. Just to follow up on the forecast, it's a 100% chance of rain once we get to 2 o'clock, and the winds are going to be significant, at least 15 miles an hour. I'm sorry, I'm not doing the nerdy weatherman voice, Adam. You're going to have to get over it this time. But these are the wind is a factor, and if the rain is a big time downpour, then yeah, I would imagine that would be a factor too. So that would lead me into gravitating toward all the running backs in this game. It's Jacobs, it's Montgomery, it's Gibbs. They could all get a lot of work, and they could all be really good for fantasy purposes. I would stay away from the kickers in this game, and definitely downgrading those quarterbacks without question.
Oh, man, I got a lot of lineups to go through.
There's two guys that are really difficult for me. One, Amon-Ra St. Brown, because I ranked him outside of the top 12 once all season, and he finished wide receiver 1, so that still hurts. But also because he functions in the shorter area targets. And then the other one's Jayden Reed, because I do think if they throw less, we'll probably see a couple more Jayden Reed rush attempts or screens to just get the ball to Jayden Reed. So I'm okay starting St. Brown. I'm okay starting Jayden Reed. I don't want to start any other wide receivers.
Okay. And I'm going to start Baker Mayfield over Jared Goff, and I'm just going to stop thinking about it because it will drive me crazy for the rest of the day. So let's get some questions here. Brian Thomas Jr. or Elijah Moore?
BTJ.
I'm full go with BTJ.
And he's expected to BT play, right?
Yes.
He should be BTA okay.
Rome Odunze or Jordan Addison?
I'm going to go Addison.
Very good question. Very close in my projections and rankings. I agree with Dave.
Alexander Madison or Cade Otton, or pick up Eckler in standard scoring?
Give me a chance to go through my rankings. I want to see where I have Eckler.
I'm going Eckler.
I got Eckler over Madison.
Yeah.
And I believe I have Otton over both.
In non-PPR?
Non-PPR.
Okay.
Tillman or Coleman with Amari Cooper out?
Do you disagree with that? Do you like Eckler over Otton?
Yeah.
I kind of get it.
Tillman
or Coleman?
Coleman.
I just so people know the reason that I'm slow. Like, we're updating our projections and rankings to reflect the news that happened 10 minutes ago while we're doing the show. So I want to make sure I give the right answer. I'm going Coleman.
Okay. Darnell Mooney or DeAndre Hopkins?
Mooney.
Moonman.
Elijah Moorman. Book of Moorman.
We're going to kill this bit, Adam.
Oh, thanks, Dave. Go ahead. Heath, yours was hilarious. Mine was terrible. It killed the bit.
Yeah.
Tucker Kraft or Quentin Johnston?
Kraft.
I'm going full PPR. I'm going more.
PPR, Coleman or Stevenson?
I moved up Ramondre. I'm gonna take Coleman, but I kind of feel like Ramondre in this Patriots offense with Drake May can be. I think they can win. I think they can beat Tennessee, obviously, and so that makes me like the game script more for Stevenson.
Yeah, I'm going with Coleman, but I think they're very, very close. I wouldn't put up a big fight. So people are asking in the chat because you chose Baker over Goff. There are thunderstorms in Kansas City on Monday.
Yeah.
got Kevin Roth. Just lean on him again.
Okay.
Go over, follow him on Twitter. I think his weather reports over on Roto Grinders. You should definitely pay attention to that. But he says it's different, that these are like bad thunderstorms that are going to pop up and go away and pop up and go away. I'm not even sure with the type of thunderstorms they get in Kansas City, if they have one that pops up, that they'll play through it. So I am not downgrading, and it's 2 days away, basically. So I'm not downgrading them a day and a half.
Would you go with Coleman or Bigsby? Just another Coleman question here.
Coleman.
Is that the same shirt? Yeah, it is. You know what? I decided I'm not going to let Jamie shame me out of a shirt that I purchased. So I'll just embrace it.
Adam, it's okay. Like we had a trunk or treat event that we went to last night. People celebrate Halloween all week long. It's okay for you to wear a costume one more day. It's fine.
Waddle or Christian Watson or Xavier Worthy?
You kind of want to say Worthy.
I'd say
I don't want to say Worthy. Wait, what's the format?
I don't know. PPR.
PPR, I'd go Waddle. If it was non, I would go Worthy.
I'm going Worthy, even in PPR.
I don't hate it.
Pick 2 in PPR: JSN, Reed, Hubbard, Harrison Jr.
Hubbard and Harrison Jr.
Boy, I have no idea.
That's what
I think I have JSN first.
Wow.
No Fant or DK. Like full PPR. I bet he catches 8 passes.
I hope he catches 8 passes.
This is the week for deep sleepers. So any deep sleepers for a PPR league?
Tillman would qualify. Who else is still out there? I just
Parker Washington. It sounds like Gabe Davis is like what we think Brian Thomas is going to play. Gabe Davis is probably not. So Parker Washington's a good one. I've got a 14-team league where I just start deep sleepers at wide receiver every single week. Because I don't have any wide receivers. I'm throwing Quentin Johnston against the wall.
And
what about Demario Douglas with Drake May back?
Oh yeah,
Tennessee without L'Jarius Sneed.
Hell,
kind of like that one.
We are putting that theory to the test. But he's, I don't know, in the 40s, his roster percentage, something like that. Jalen Coker is a deep.
Coker, yeah,
Coker is good.
Baker Mayfield or Jordan Love?
I'm going Baker.
I will go with Love as of now.
Brian Thomas Jr. or Chris Olave?
Olave is a must this week.
Top 7 wide receiver.
Capital M must for capital O Olave.
Reed, Brian Thomas Jr. or Jakobi Meyers, half PPR?
Brian Thomas Jr.
Yeah, I think
Reed's going to end up being third of that group for me.
Reed's definitely third of that group for me. Is that and that's a 4 p.m. game, so you at least have the Reed backstop if Brian Thomas is out. So yeah, I'll say Brian Thomas. Meyers, I like a lot, but I like Thomas more, and I like that you have the backup plan in case Thomas is out.
Slayton, Demario Douglas, or Jalen Coker?
I like Douglas if it's full PPR.
It is.
I like Douglas.
Sure.
Coleman or Harrison Jr. PPR? I'm going Harrison.
I'm going to go Harrison too.
I am too, but I'm not super certain about it.
Me either. It's such a terrible matchup. Jayden Daniels or Lamar Jackson?
Lamar.
I think I have Lamar higher.
Chuba Hubbard or Terry McLaurin? Oh.
Like both those guys, I will go with McLaurin against the Giants.
Travis Etienne or Xavier Worthy, half PPR?
Worthy. Not trusting the Jaguars' run game.
Oh, really, Dave? Because I'm in a league where I have to start both of them. So just put a nail in that coffin.
Condolences, Adam. I mean, you don't have to.
Oh, no, wait, I lied. I'm starting Elijah Moore over Tank Bigsby in PPR.
Okay, I like it.
Oh, yeah, it's great. I'm super excited about it. But
it's a win. It's a plus.
Terry McLaurin or Cooper Kupp?
McLaurin.
I will take Terry McLaurin.
Doesn't Terry McLaurin have some insane history against the Giants? Like just destroys them, and
I'll tell you about it.
he's done it for half a decade with no quarterback, and now he's got a quarterback. He might have 500 yards.
But
and there's no Brian Robinson, so maybe they throw a little bit more.
I don't think he did it in week 2.
No,
he was horrible in week 2, and I think it was
like 2 catches in week 2.
6 catches for 22 yards.
That's what I meant.
Deontay Banks does a pretty good job on him, I think, but it's not.
Is Deontay Banks gonna start?
Yeah. He's gonna, yes, he's gonna. I don't know if he's gonna finish. Yeah. Anywho, see, where was he? He was not so great against them last year, was he? One game he was. Okay. Anyway, Puka Nacua. We haven't talked about Puka. Heath, where are we on Puka right now?
He was a top 10 wide receiver for me at the beginning of the week. He is now closer to wide receiver 20. We are expecting him to play. I should change that. We are expecting him to be active, but we have seen Sean McVay make a wide receiver active and then play him like 2 snaps once already this season. And Puka's suffered the same knee injury multiple times. So it is a risk tolerance situation, but he's around wide receiver 20 for me. I'd start him over like anybody you don't feel good about starting.
Which is a lot of people.
No, I'm sorry. I'm laughing at myself for something.
Especially at wide receiver.
I was laughing at me, not you. Okay.
Well, that sounds like most of the history of our podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Ridley or Waddle?
Ridley.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. 1 week changed everything with Calvin Ridley.
It's one more than Waddle's got.
Why did Waddle have in week 1 like 5 for 100 or something?
He had 16 PPR points.
Okay, I'm sorry. One more than he's had in the last 2 months.
Nothing since.
Njoku, Hawkinson, or Sam Laporta, Brian Thomas Jr. or Devontae Smith, Cup or Olave. We got a lot of questions here, so let's start with the tight ends. Njoku, Hawkinson, or Laporta, PPR.
I'm going to Njoku.
Yes.
And Brian Thomas Jr. or Devontae Smith.
Devontae.
I'm going BTJ.
And Cooper Kupp or Chris Olave.
Olave.
Agreed.
And next up, Calvin Ridley, Keon Coleman, Cedric Tillman. We need 2 of them.
Ridley and Coleman.
Yeah, I am sitting Tillman.
Okay. Pittman or Ridley?
I will take Ridley over Pittman.
I know. I'm sitting Coleman. I'm starting Tillman over Coleman. And I will go Ridley over Pittman.
Spicy, especially with Cooper being out.
Yeah, Cooper was pretty much out last week.
Yeah, I mean, and look at what Cooper's kind of been out the last 2 weeks, and look at what Coleman's done. Coleman looks outstanding. He looks like a different guy from like week 1, week 2.
I think that's also true of Tillman.
That is also true of Tillman. Yeah, it's a good call. When I looked at the Chargers defensive backs this week, I thought that their stats look pretty good. Their pass rush is pretty good. Jameis is a mixed bag. So I don't mind Tillman. A little worried about just how many catches he'll get. I'll take my chances with Cole.
Okay. How about Mark Andrews or DeAndre Hopkins?
I think I have Andrews higher.
I have Andrews higher.
He's got Andrews higher.
So just so everyone knows, Deontay Johnson is expected to play 10 to 15 snaps today. So we don't start him, and I don't think it should really affect the way you see Andrews or Flowers, I guess. Deontay Johnson, he did right, Deontay Johnson or Jayden Reed?
Reed.
Yeah. I'm not. I want 0 part of Deontay Johnson today.
Tony Pollard.
There he is. Week 9. Heath has no interest. Wide receiver of the week, Deontay Johnson.
Tony Pollard or Chris Olave in full PPR, and Tyler Algier or Raheem Mostert?
I will take Olave in full PPR and Mostert over Algier.
Agreed.
All right, let's see how many likes we have here.
Dave and I are really on the same page.
Something's wrong.
We're right on the same. We should talk about the Packers quarterbacks again.
Let's get some more likes. We have 312 likes. Let's get 700 likes. 700 likes. We're not answering anything until then. You scoundrels. 700 likes. Hit that like button.
That's good. Please. That'll get them to like the video. Call
pretty mild comment there.
While we're waiting for them to do what they're supposed to do, you guys can answer my question.
Yeah.
on this terrible 14-team wide receiver league. Parker Washington, Quentin Johnston, DeAndre Hopkins, Roma Dunze. I need to start 2 of those guys.
I go Hopkins 1 and not Odunze. It's Washington or who if I eliminate Odunze?
Johnston.
Quentin
Park Washington.
Johnson's kind of fun. Probably has more upside than Parker Washington.
Someone wanted to know if. Oh wait, I'm not allowed to tell you. 612 likes. This I'll forget. So, Kate Otten or David Njoku.
So I'm glad you asked the question. We can ask the question before we get to 700 likes. We just can't answer the question.
Think about it.
700 likes.
We're pretty close. Keep it. I'm gonna hit the like button right now.
Yeah, those guys are both top 5 tight ends for me this week. Was it a full PPR league, Adam?
I don't know. Actually, I'm not sure.
We might have time before we get to 700 likes for them to tell us.
645, 668. Are you satisfied with 668? Can we
say no?
Dave,
say no.
Is that 700? Like,
you know
we do this every week.
706. There we go. You know what is 700? 700 is the amount of candy pieces I've eaten. Look at that. I had right before I went on the air today. I had this Take 5, which is incredible. But all right, what do we got? Kate Otten or David Njoku?
I've got Otten ranked ahead of Njoku.
I do too.
I think I just realized something. I hate this week of fantasy football.
Oh,
I don't know why. I hate this Brian Robinson inactive thing. I hate this weather thing in the game of the week. It's obviously not the game of the week anymore. I hate week 9. I'm off to a fine start. I have like Rodgers in 3 leagues, Wilson, Garrett, Devon. I have it's not that. I just hate week 9. I'm sorry. I hate to kill everyone's buzz here, but I hate it. Pollard
based on how things generally go, I'm expecting last week was the greatest week of the season. And this week's going to be even better.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd be optimistic.
Yeah, I don't know. I just I don't like this. Pollard or Tracy, standard scoring.
That just means you don't like your teams. I've got Tracy over Pollard.
I also believe that I have I've got Pollard over Tracy.
Maybe I'm just mad at T. Higgins. I have him in so many leagues. Speaking of which, Gesicki or Taysom Hill and Carr or Caleb?
Can't help you with that, Adam.
PPR.
Gesicki over Taysom.
I'd go Taysom.
He's the one who benefits from T. Higgins being out. And I currently have Goff over Carr. I know that Heath could talk me into Carr over Goff. So I'm going to defer to Heath on the quarterbacks.
So Jared Goff's never been good outside, and now it's raining and 30-mile-an-hour winds. This will probably be why he'll be good outside. Taysom or Derek Carr scored 27 fantasy points in week 1 against this defense. Bo Nix scored 34 fantasy points in week 8 against this defense. 6 of the 8 quarterbacks they've faced have scored at least 20 fantasy points. Derek Carr is a top 10 quarterback for me. Jared Goff is not a top 20 quarterback for me.
I would just say Jared Goff has infrequently been good outside.
Okay.
But not never. And
very rarely.
He is playing the best football of his life, I'd say.
And he hasn't played outside yet this year.
I know.
But it's not about being outside as much as it is being outside in the rain with wind.
Yeah.
Like
their careers.
Those factors matter a lot more to me than just the fact that there's no dome over his head.
Well, I understand, but I think we'd be fair to say that over their careers, Derek Carr has been a better quarterback than Jared Goff has been outside.
Does that really matter right now, though? Yeah. I mean, it's the weather. Okay.
I don't care about what Derek Carr did when he was playing outdoors in Oakland.
No, I'm not saying Derek Carr outdoors. I'm just saying Jared Goff.
Yeah. All right. Hopkins, Liggett, Harrison, or Eckler. Start 2. PPR.
Eckler and Marv.
It says start 1, and then it says start 2.
You're right. It does say that. Well, in that order, Eckler and Harrison.
Well, let's rank these guys. I'll take Marvin Harrison Jr. first. I'll take Eckler second. I'll take Liggett third and Hopkins fourth.
Okay. Josh Allen or Jayden Daniels? And then
Josh
that I clicked on. Allen for you, Heath?
That sounds right.
Jalen Waddle.
Tracy over Waddle.
Okay, Tracy over Waddle, Otten or Ferguson?
Otten over Fergie.
I agree.
I'm doing that in my leagues. I've got a couple.
Burrow or Mahomes?
Burrow's another quarterback that I'm starting to get a little bit of the ick from. But no left tackle, no T. Higgins. Where's the upside? I'm still going to start him over Mahomes
Yep.
because, I mean, you want to talk about ick. But he's not normally Burrow's like a set it and forget it top 5 type of fantasy quarterback. Not quite there with him this week.
Heath, I watched the engagement party episode of Shrinking last night with the piano.
Oh my goodness. That's such a
Absolutely.
fantastic episode.
Lost it. I mean, I was cracking up. Amazing. I think it's episode 5 for all of you wondering.
Great show.
Is it too early for turkey? Yeah, even Thanksgiving is too early for turkey because turkey is just a garbage dinner. Chase Brown, Jayden Reed, or Cedric Tillman. Pick one.
I'm really sorry nobody's ever made you a good turkey. Chase Brown.
Heath could make you an outstanding turkey.
No,
I would go with Chase Brown.
Turkey's fine. My mom makes good turkey. It's fine. Just I prefer.
Don't you have like turkey sandwiches from the deli or something?
No.
Well, the turkey's not any good unless you have it on a cinnamon raisin bagel.
Covered in Russian dressing.
Mostert or Chubb?
With a happy tomato slice. I will take Chubb over Mostert.
Me too. Flowers or Worthy? Half PPR.
Zay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Kincaid or Andrews? Half PPR.
I think I have Andrews higher.
That's an interesting twist. Although I guess we've seen plenty of no Cooper.
I have Kincaid higher.
Commanders against the Giants or Eagles against the Jaguars?
Eagles.
Commanders.
I can't stop raving about how good Philly's defense has been since the bye.
Brian Thomas Jr. or Tyrone Tracy Jr.?
Really good.
Thomas.
I think I have Tracy higher. I'll say Tracy.
Dobbins, Sutton, Lockett, Reed. Pick one in PPR. Dobbins, Sutton, Lockett, Reed.
Who are 4 people who've never been in my kitchen? I will go with Dobbins, and I might still have Reed ahead of Sutton, but I kind of like Sutton. So I'm going to say Sutton and Dobbins.
Tillman, Javonte, or Travis Etienne? We need one.
Go for it, Heath.
Tillman.
That's what I'd say.
Okay. Kyler or Nix?
Kyler.
Agreed.
How about Bo Nix or Josh Allen? We're going to go with Josh Allen.
I would too.
Sit one of these. Ooh. Cup, Neighbors, St. Brown, Swift.
Oh, I got to sit one of these guys. And it's full PPR.
You guys know who I'm sitting.
You're going to sit Amon-Ra?
No.
Cup?
No.
You're going to sit Neighbors?
Yeah.
I'm going to sit Cup.
I'm going to sit St. Brown.
I mean, this is so hard. Congratulations on your championship. Marvin Harrison Jr. or Darnell Mooney?
I have Mooney over Marvin.
I agree.
Okay. Tucker Kraft, Mark Andrews, or Taysom Hill?
Mark Andrews.
I agree.
Sorry,
Do you think we see more rush attempts for Taysom Hill since they're missing both Kendre Miller and Jamal Williams?
I think we could see a little bit of that, and I think we could see a little bit more of target work for Taysom Hill, but I think the story remains the same. He's going to need to find the end zone just to even have like a bit of help for your fantasy lineup this week.
We want to welcome everybody in. If you are watching, I was like picking up from
now.
Yeah. If you, for those of you who just finished watching the Commanders Giants or whatever, welcome to Fantasy Football Today here. It's noon Eastern. And yes, this morning, my wife woke me up at like 8:15. Heath and I have a show at 8. And she's like, aren't you supposed to be on the air? I was like, oh, crap. And I was like, wait a second. The clock hasn't updated yet. It's 7:15.
I don't understand how that happens.
The clock hasn't updated yet.
It's like a digital clock. It's not on my phone. It's like the clock next to my TV.
So in order for it to be updated, that would require you to press a button to update it, would it not?
Right. And we didn't do it last night because the time changed at 2 in the
So
morning.
don't blame it on anybody but yourself.
I'm not blaming anybody. We got fooled
No,
by
you said my clock.
So you don't have an alarm clock.
As if the
my
clock
alarm
was
hadn't gone off
responsible
yet.
to update itself.
My alarm was set on my phone. It hadn't gone off yet. And I wake up and I see 8:15 on the clock. And it's like, oh my God, that clock wasn't updated. My phone was updated. I think I set like a 7:20 clock on my phone or whatever. And so I was like, oh, but then I was like, wait a second. So we have another hour. We're good. We're good.
I know what you just made.
This is my favorite day of the year, by the way. I hate this week for fantasy, but I do love gaining the hour. It is so perfect. Right in the middle of the season. It's like having the bye week in the middle of the season. It's great.
I was just talking to somebody this weekend about how, like, I'm pretty sure we voted in Florida to not do this anymore. And we just still do it. It's the dumbest thing.
JSN or Brian Thomas Jr.?
Brian Thomas Jr.
Yeah.
7:20. I wake up at 4 a.m. I go to sleep at 4 a.m. Not quite, but you're,
Why are you yelling?
I don't know. Everyone's killing me for this clock thing. Flowers, Waddle, or Kareem Hunt?
I think it's because you blamed it on the clock when you needed to blame it on you.
There's no blame. It was just a funny story. It wasn't like nobody did anything wrong.
I'll start Zay Flowers still.
I agree.
Where do you have him ranked overall this week, Heath?
15?
Or, I mean, amongst receivers. Not
15?
overall. Yeah, I'm in that same range. I know he's playing against the Broncos. It's not that I don't buy into Surtain. In fact, I buy into that whole secondary being good.
Yeah.
I just think the Ravens offense is really good.
Yeah.
When it's good on good, I defer to the offense. It's just one of my rules for fantasy.
Yeah, I agree. Bigsby or Tillman, PPR?
Tillman.
All right, so I meant to do this at noon, but I got distracted by my hilarious alarm clock story that has everybody buzzing. Get it? Buzzing. Thank you. Let's reset some of the headlines
I
here.
can't believe I laughed.
Let's reset the headlines here. Heath, tell me where you ranked the Commanders running backs with Brian Thomas Jr. out.
So I have ranked Austin Eckler as a top 20 running back. I am struggling mightily with Chuba Hubbard, Chase Brown, Tyrone Tracy, Austin Eckler, DeAndre Swift, Josh Jacobs, Tony Pollard. That 12 through 18 group, I don't feel good about at all. The last time that Brian Robinson missed a game, Austin Eckler had a 50% rush share on the team, but that's actually like 90% of the running back rush attempts because of what Jayden Daniels does. He had a 15% target share. If he playing a defense in the New York Giants who are giving up 5.4 yards per carry to opposing running backs, should be playing with a lead. This sets up for a monster outing for Austin Eckler. Jeremy McNichols, for me, is a touchdown-dependent flex. He is at RB40.
Dave, what are you thinking about the weather in the Green Bay-Detroit game?
It looks like it's going to stink, and I'm going to try and get some visuals on it in the next hour, but the forecast says rain, 100% chance of rain well after noon, certainly around 2 o'clock on, and winds at 15 miles an hour. And then Heath was talking about gusts into the 30s. I haven't seen that forecast yet, but it doesn't mean that it's not happening or that it's not being forecast as such. But these are things that are definitely going to hurt a quarterback that's used to playing indoors in Jared Goff and a quarterback who's not at 100%, which is Jordan Love. Currently, they are both top 12 quarterbacks, but it's something I really have to think about quickly. I'm not sure if I feel good about starting either one. When my rankings settle, just for people that are debating Love versus Goff, I will put Love ahead of Goff. That much I know.
And like, we should maybe both talk about the thing the other one just talked about, because we don't. Dave and I agree on a lot of stuff in our rankings this week. These two situations, we are very, very far apart. I am not starting Jordan Love or Jared Goff. They are not top 20 quarterbacks for me.
Okay, and just you got to give me a minute to kind of get – I want to see what it really looks like there before I totally sink them because of the weather.
No, right. But I meant you need to talk about Washington because you have the Washington running backs much closer together than I do.
I do have them closer together, and I don't have Eckler as high as you have Eckler because I'm not sure if what we saw in Week 6 against Baltimore is exactly what's going to play out. I love the matchup. Don't get me wrong. And if you're kind of in a pinch at running back, Eckler makes a ton of sense. McNichols makes sense as a bye week replacement. But between them and Jayden Daniels, like that's a lot of guys that can carry the mail for Washington. And I don't want to stretch Eckler into being a top 20 type of running back, knowing that there's two guys that he could share with, or pushing McNichols up because he's the more physical of the two and he might score a touchdown. McNichols is definitely touchdown dependent, in my opinion. I don't think his numbers will be good if he doesn't score a touchdown. Can Eckler get there can he get to 10 non-PPR points without a touchdown? In this matchup, I think he can. But there are a lot of running backs this week that can get to 10 non-PPR points without a touchdown. And I think a lot of running backs who can get to 16 non-PPR points much sooner and much easier than Eckler can.
I'm sorry to make this about me, but I'm struggling here. Would you guys start DeAndre Hopkins or Elijah Moore? PPR.
I'd lean toward, let me see where I have it ranked.
It's Elijah Moore for me.
I think I have Moore a little bit ahead of Hopkins.
I'm pretty much in the DeAndre Hopkins has to show me a good game before I'm starting him.
Yeah,
it's fair. Tampa Bay. It's Tampa Bay. They're so bad against the pass. And man, like this is just people. Look, I mean, this is a league where I have Brian Robinson Jr. and T. Higgins, and a lot of people are going to have to make these decisions. I think we're really going deep into the wide receiver pool this week, So, all right, we'll go with Elijah Moore. Let's get some rapid fire questions here.
Let's do it.
Madison or Tracy? PPR.
Tracy.
I like them both, but Tracy.
Kareem Hunt or Austin Eckler?
Eckler.
I will take Kareem Hunt.
By the way, a report from me and Rappaport that Pacheco is targeting a late November return. Full PPR pick 2. No, RB2. Tracy, David Montgomery, or J.K. Dobbins?
Tracy is going to be who I would take.
Over Montgomery?
And Dobbins.
That one I get, but I'm going to go Montgomery.
I am going with Tracy.
Okay. Superflex start 2. Jordan Love, Bo Nix, Jameis Winston. Who sits?
I already have Nix ranked ahead of Love. Not there yet with Jameis Winston.
I would sit Love.
Do I play Love or Caleb Williams? No, sorry. Love, Jameis Winston, or Joe Flacco?
I would go Jameis.
Right now, it's Love, Winston, or Flacco. Currently, I have it Love, Flacco, Winston.
Heath, you and I are playing each other in 2 leagues. I am winning 47-0 in one, and you were winning like 46-0 in the other. How about that?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Nice shirt, Adam. Thank you. Pick 1. Taysom Hill, DeAndre Hopkins, or Tyler Lockett, half PPR.
Lockett.
I didn't hear the question. I'm trying to find.
All right, we'll just go with Lockett. I agree. Pollard or Jacobs, PPR?
Jacobs.
I will go with Jacobs. Yes.
Adam is more handsome than Spock. Thank you. What a comment. Start 2 at half PPR. Keon Coleman, Austin Eckler, DeAndre Hopkins, Ridley, Madison, Waddle. We need 2.
Wow. It's a lot of options. I will go with Ridley and Coleman.
I will go with Eckler and Madison.
And I will go with Eckler and
it's half PPR, right?
Eckler and Waddle. Yeah, it's half PPR. Okay. Sam Laporta or Hunter Henry?
Laporta, please.
Ooh, I don't know about this one anymore. That weather. Now we got Drake Maye. All right. Laporta for Dave. How about you, Heath?
I have Laporta just a little bit higher.
So the visual I got from Lambeau Field is like perfectly picturesque Sunday morning because obviously the rain hasn't come yet and the forecast says it's going to come. So it's supposed to be rainy.
Yeah. If no Brian Thomas Jr. we expect to play, but if he's out, Dobbs, Keenan Allen, or Michael Wilson?
Dobbs.
Time is that Bears game? Bears. Oh, that right. That's a 4:00 game too. Okay. Algier or McNichols?
McNichols.
I have Algier. They're back to back. I don't really care.
Where is this one? It says, beam me up, loser. Beam me up. Sit one in PPR between Waddle, Sutton, Pittman, and Meyers.
I'd sit Pittman. Michael, sit, man.
Yeah, I think I'd sit Pittman as well.
Give me a break, loser. Love it. Classic. Hubbard, Jacobs, or Chase Brown? We need two. Who are we sitting? Hubbard, Jacobs, or Chase Brown?
I believe I have Chase as the sit of this group.
He would be the sit of the week in this situation.
James.
Wow.
Oh, wait a second. You're sitting Chase Brown. You're starting Hubbard over Chase Brown?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay. James Conner or Kareem Hunt in non-PPR? And Lamar Jackson or Caleb Williams? That's a real question.
Is Jermaine Burton out?
Yes.
Did they make him inactive?
A healthy scratch.
So much for that theory.
Connor and Jackson.
Yeah. Darnell Mooney, Devontae Smith, Puka Nacua, start two.
I would sit Mooney.
Now, I would just say, what if you were worried about Puka and you got some report later in the day and then you couldn't pivot to Mooney because he's playing at 1? Do you start Mooney and then play Puka?
If you're that worried about it, sure.
Mooney is my highest rated.
And I can't say it's not a possibility.
Mooney's okay. So Mooney and who?
I would start Mooney.
And
Puka if he plays.
Okay. Pick one flex here. Chubbard, Shakir, or Kareem Hunt in full PPR?
Shepard.
Chuba Hubbard.
All right. Oh, yeah. Shrinking.
Doobie-doo.
Great show. Kraft or Hawkinson, half PPR. Keenan Allen or Demario Douglas?
If it's half PPR, I'll take Kraft. And then what's the other question? I'm sorry, guys.
Keenan. Kraft and
Allen
Keenan.
or Demario Douglas?
I think I'd go Douglas.
Dowdle or DJ Moore, PPR?
More.
I think I've got Dowdle higher. I like this this no Ezekiel Elliott thing.
They should probably just cut him, right? Set him free.
Yeah, they won't do that. They might not play him. They might keep him in case they need a running back.
Okay. Let's go to our next question.
I mean, maybe they would. Listen, the report said that he was missing a bunch of meetings and
right.
Like that's obviously something that a team can't have. So yeah, maybe they cut him.
Okay. Next question is Tillman or Rashad White, half PPR?
I kind of want to say Tillman.
I've got Rashad White just barely.
Dave, give me life.
Give me life.
PPR, Chase Brown or Dobbins, and Jayden Reed or Rashad White?
I believe I have Dobbins over Chase Brown. And the other question was, hold on.
Jayden Reed, Rashad White, PPR.
Reed.
I did read. I just read it twice.
Oh yeah. Very fun.
I would go through. Yeah.
Chase Brown, Heath?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Darnold or Love? 4-point per passing touchdown.
Darnold.
Yes.
And would you drop Tucker Kraft for Sam Darnold if you already have Sam Laporta?
Yeah, I mean, if that's the move that you have to make and Kraft is your most droppable player, I would.
bring you love. We should be saying that more often, Dave. You remember that reference?
Yes,
I saw someone had a great Halloween costume of that moment. They had like a neon green halo surrounding them.
Glowing and floating.
Yeah, exactly. I bring you love. Jayden Reed, Zay Flowers, or Xavier Worthy? We need one.
Flowers.
Flowers.
Okay. We got 1,000 likes. That's not bad.
That's cool.
We also should, and we have 4,100 people watching.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So,
hi everybody.
On YouTube.
Week 9 hell.
That's not even Twitter, just YouTube. Almost 4,200 people watching. So why don't we get to 1.4K, and then we'll start reading more.
Yeah, I think while you're waiting for that, I'm going to step out for just a second and update my rankings.
Cool.
Go ahead, and then I'll do
Back.
that when you're done.
Yes.
All right. And at some point, I've got to update my lineups because I'm in just a lot
I'm
of.
kind of doing that now, and it's causing me to not concentrate, and I need to concentrate.
All right. Well, then I'm going to tell everybody about my weekend. I ate.
No. Let's answer questions. I'm going to stop doing what I'm doing. Let's help the people. We do not want to hear about your weekend.
I was just going to tell everybody I ate at the same restaurant 2 nights in a row.
So what?
That's kind of.
Did you eat the same thing at the same
No.
restaurant 2 nights in a row?
I didn't. I wasn't planning on it. We got invited the second night. Bucky Irving or McNichols?
McNichols.
Kincaid or Laporta?
I still have Laporta over Kincaid.
Dave, in PPR, Dobbins or Lad McConkey? 5 thumbs up.
Wow, 5 thumbs up. I better get this one right. I've got Dobbins ahead of Lad.
Thoughts on Derek Carr versus Patrick Mahomes?
I like Mahomes over Carr. Mahomes over Carr. Just a quick note on J.K. Dobbins. The Browns defense, usually when you look at them, you think, oh, man, you don't want to start anybody against them. They're not playing with their 2 best linebackers. Jordan Hicks has been out for a while. That actually brings up an interesting IDP, Adam. Mahmoud Diabate.
Okay.
Is D-line eligible on CBS, and he's a linebacker.
Oh,
So
wow. Really?
linebacker points from your DL, provided that he still is going to play for them. And Hicks is out. Owosu Koromora is out. You referenced this during the week. That Browns run defense is worse without Owosu Koromora going back to last year. So I'm buying into that. There's another thing. On the player prop show I do every week, every Friday on YouTube, Dobbins rushing over-under for his yardage was really high. It was in the 70s. Didn't think it belonged that high. And I think it's designed to make you want to take the under, which you shouldn't do. I think that means that Vegas is expecting a big game for Dobbins. I'm expecting a good game for Dobbins. I think he can score, and I think he can get over 70 yards. So I'm ranking Dobbins accordingly as a number 2 fantasy running back.
Loving this Diabate thing here, by the way, because I just picked him up. I'm pretty curious to see how Mahomes plays this week because he played pretty well. He really played very well last week. Had an okay game, like 22 points, solid. And Bucks pass.
Now it's the Bucks, right?
Dreadful. Yeah. Okay, let's see. We need one here. Madison, Mostert, Odunze, or Sam Laporta.
I'm going to start Laporta. You can only start one. I think Laporta is your best bet.
What do you have against Madison? He gets like almost 20 touches a game.
I don't mind him this week. He's kind of in that flex range, but I'm a little bit concerned about how much he'll be able to get. He's been pretty inefficient for a good chunk of the year.
Horrible. And also, I don't love that Antonio Pierce has to answer a question about, we're sticking with Madison. It feels like he could lose that job
in the middle of the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I don't. Yeah. I was going to say, I don't know if he loses passing downs work.
No, I wouldn't think so.
He could.
Yeah, actually, he's not. So, right. So, when Zamir White's been out and White's expected to play, Madison's been the running downs guy, and he's sort of split with Abdullah on passing downs. When White was the lead guy, Madison was just the passing downs guy. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens, but not a great situation.
And on top of it all, it's the Raiders. They're starting centers out. Bengals defense has been playing a little bit better lately. You kind of have to throw out that Philadelphia
against the run. Yeah.
Bowers,
Otten, Tillman, Meyers start 2. I like these are good ones. I like.
Oh yeah. Bowers, I think, is still a must. I'd go with the Raiders here. I'd go with Bowers and Meyers.
Ooh, here's a report from someone on ESPN that Jonathan Brooks is expected to make his debut next week. Okay, that'd be in Germany.
It's still going to be a little bit later in the year than we anticipated. We thought he'd be back a little bit sooner than this. I think it's a sign that the Panthers are really just taking their time with him. They don't want to redshirt him. They have to activate him by next week. Otherwise, he's out for the year. That's the rules when you're on the PUP list. So he'll be activated, and I think they just ease him in for a couple weeks. I traded for Chuba Hubbard in one of my leagues, Adam. I gave up Tank Bigsby and Bo Nix. 14-team league.
Nice. Yeah.
So
Good.
I was just going to say, I think Chuba Hubbard is still going to get a good amount of work until he's outplayed by Jonathan Brooks. And I can't say that Brooks is going to immediately get a huge opportunity. I think it could take several weeks before he even ramps up to having the chance to take work away from Chuba Hubbard.
I think that Jonathan Brooks is going to be on the most drop lists pretty soon. He's 83% rostered.
About that.
I mean, look, he's 83% rostered. They have their bye after the Giants. So next week, you're not starting him. In fact, I would say that you could drop him as soon as he's activated if you wanted to. You're not starting him against the Giants. And then bye week, and then the Chiefs after that. When are you going to start Jonathan Brooks? The earliest would be week 13. And when is he going to take away the job from Chuba Hubbard? I don't think he's going to this year. If he does, it's going to be late in the year. So I will say, I think it could be fool's gold. Knicks or Herbert?
I have Knicks over Herbert.
Rico Dowdle, McNichols, or Taysom Hill in PPR, full PPR.
I'm going to have Dowdle as the pick here. I do like the opportunity that Dowdle will have. I like that he's a little rested. The fact that he didn't play last week, and the matchup really the matchup is favorable in two ways. Number one, Falcons' run defense isn't very tough. Number two, Falcons play a ton of zone coverage that opens the door for running backs to get cheap targets and catches, and I think Dowdle will get that.
And we're at 1.2K likes. So if you wouldn't mind hitting that like button, we'd really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Very helpful. Eckler
or that way, then Adam can stop talking about the like button and hit the like button. Like enough from him already. Just hit the button and then he can.
There you go.
Shut his yapper.
Something to strive for. I'm going Chase Brown over Eckler, but I think they're very similar.
I don't think I like Chase Brown more.
Okay. They both have great matchups. Wan'Dale Robinson or Jalen Tolbert, PPR.
Wanda. That's like a default answer. I feel like I just knee-jerked that answer, and that's not the right way to go. I'm looking at my rankings. I have Tolbert a little bit ahead of Wan'Dale. I'm going to say Tolbert.
Okay.
But I would take Cedric Tillman over those guys if he's on your waiver wire. I would take Jalen Coker over those guys, Darius Slayton over those guys. I'm not excited about those two receiving options.
Oh, man. It's wide receiver in a 3-receiver league. I'm just stuck in one spot right now. And am I going to start Jalen Coker? I don't know, man.
Well, what can I tell you about Coker before you make a decision one way or the other?
Well, I can tell you. You can tell me, should I start Jalen Coker or Christian Watson in PPR?
I'd go Coker over Watson. A, because of the weather. B, because the quarterback isn't 100% in Green Bay. And C, Coker was their slot receiver last week. Nice short area target. Bryce Young played better last week. I don't think Coker's coming off the field. And while he's not a burner, okay, and that's always a big problem for any receiver. If you're not fast, it's hard to be dominant in fantasy. I do think he's going to earn targets, and he does get open. Like, he's got pretty decent footwork for an undrafted wide receiver, and he's a big guy. He reminds me of he reminds me a little bit of Mike Evans, but he's not used as much downfield. And I wonder if Canales looks at him the same way.
Yeah, I think Coker, he only had 6 targets last week, and I feel I'll double check here. I feel like some, if not like a chunk of his production, came very late in a blowout loss.
But he played a ton in the game, Adam.
Yeah. I mean, when did he score his touchdown? He scored his touchdown with 18 seconds left in the game when they were losing 28-7.
But if he does it again this week and scores a touchdown with 18 seconds left and you start Jalen Coker, you'll be a happy camper.
Yeah, I know.
It's not like he didn't play the first 3 quarters.
No, but he didn't do anything until the Broncos probably had their backups in, I'm guessing. Were barely playing,
And so now he showed the coaching staff what he could do over the course of a game. He's taking on a much easier opponent in New Orleans, who, by the way, will be without a bunch of their best cornerbacks in the game. Like, they are absolutely crushed by injuries.
He's in. Coker over Christian Watson. Because I am the most logical host, as this man says.
Yeah.
Keon Cole. And you know what, Dave? Let me tell you something. I'm playing Heath in that league. So Coker over Christian Watson. Keon Coleman or Josh Downs? Love or Mahomes?
Coleman. Oh, no, Downs over Coleman. We love Downs, even in standard. Love or Mahomes? I currently have Love ahead of Mahomes.
I will go with Downs and Mahomes.
Down. Dobbs or Eckler, and we'll answer this one. Eckler.
Romeo Dobbs? Yeah, that was Dobbins. It was a little bit of a question, but it'd still be Eckler.
Romeo Dobbins. Team name. Pick 2 in non-PPR. Harrison. In case I confuse anybody, go with Eckler. Harrison, Mooney, Tracy, Chubb in non-PPR. Pick 2. Harrison, Mooney, Tracy, Chubb.
Ooh, I'm going to go with Tracy Mooney.
I agree.
There's probably somebody out there named Tracy Mooney.
Yeah.
I'm starting you.
Tracy or Dobbs, non-PPR.
Tracy.
Oh, why did I say Tracy? You guys were just talking about him. It's Shakir or Dobbs, non-PPR.
Shakir. I would rank them Tracy, Shakir, Dobbs.
Yeah, Tracy's not a part of it, though.
Hips don't lie. Burrow or Mayfield?
Joe.
Yeah.
Okay. Aaron Jones or James Conner?
What was that noise?
That was me imitating Heath's phone.
Yep.
And I nailed it.
That would be the worst ringtone anybody could ever have.
Somebody please make this
Adam's
a ringtone
voice
and prove it to me.
Adam pretending to be a dump truck.
Remember when we had a Heath Sy ringtone?
Yeah, absolutely.
That was fantastic.
I have Jones and Connor back to back. I will start Jones.
I should make the game of the week my ringtone.
You don't get to change the game of the week.
Wait, can we do that legally?
The game of the week song. Okay.
Yeah.
Like you're on the hook for the game of the week.
Yeah, I'm on the hook. What was
You're
it?
Taking the blame for all this rain.
What did I make it last week, Dave?
Blame it on the A.
You ended up picking the Commanders game.
The Commanders game. And was that a good game? Oh,
No.
yeah, that was a good game.
Oh, it was a good game. It wasn't like amazing for fantasy.
Really disappointed you didn't sing November Rain with all this talk about the rain in Green Bay.
Yeah, well, nothing lasts forever except your disappointment in me. Mooney or Dobbins, non-PPR.
It was really good.
Thank you.
I would go with Mooney. Yes. No, I don't know. In non-PPR, I might go with Dobbins. You want me to check my rankings? Yes, Dave, please check. Okay, I will. Thanks. I will go with. Why is this taking me so long?
I don't know.
Embarrassing.
Dave, Heath is going to go with Otten. They're both top 5, but Otten, right?
I have Dobbins over Mooney and
Otten over Njoku.
Pittman, it brings us love. Kill it. Sit 1.5 PPR. Pittman, Downs, McBride, or Otten.
Michael Sitman.
I'm sitting Sitman.
Okay. Sitman. You made him an accountant. Chubb or Dobbs?
I don't know if I would trust him with my taxes. Who?
I read it and I clicked another one. Chubb or Dobbs? Then we'll do this one.
Chubb.
All right, now start 2. My Florida guys. Jayden Reed, Josh Downs, Ladd McConkey, Brian Thomas Jr.
Downs and Thomas. Yes.
Oh, why is Heath so much lower on Matthew Stafford than Jamie and Dave?
So the short answer was I did not make as big of an adjustment off of one game as they did. The counter argument to that is, well, yeah, but he finally had Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua healthy. And so I fought with that in my mind all week. And then about the time I started to change it, Puka Nacua is not healthy anymore.
Right.
And so we thought Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua were going to be healthy all summer long. And we didn't rank Matthew Stafford as a top 12 quarterback. He wasn't a top 12 quarterback last year. He's not a top 12 quarterback.
Okay. Fair enough.
And I think also, and I don't know about this, Dave,
Sure.
I use mostly season long statistics for defense rankings. And Seattle's not been a good matchup. It's fine. They had a 3-week stretch that ended 2 or 3 weeks ago where they gave up a ton of points to quarterbacks and in the passing game. And then they completely shut down Kirk Cousins. And Josh Allen scored 23 against them. I'm not favoring Stafford because of the matchup either. I'm not sure it's a great matchup.
I really hated how the Seahawks played last week. And honestly, I hate how their run defenses looked since getting Byron Murphy back at D tackle. Their last 3 games have been terrible against the run. And so that makes me a little bit nervous about touting Stafford as much as I am. But I just think about how this Rams offense has operated. And we've got it's a sample size of technically more than 7 games, but we're really looking at the last 7 games where Stafford, Nakua, Kupp, all together, all on the field. And Stafford's awesome in most of those games. And when I rank quarterbacks, I think about what the expectation is, and then do they have a chance to have a huge game? That type of, game breaker performance that just dominates your opponent in fantasy. And Stafford delivered that last week. I think he can deliver it again, even against the Seattle defense that on paper should be awesome. But their corners aren't playing that well. Their D-line isn't playing that well. It's kind of disappointing given who their new coach is. And I don't know if they're going to have something that's going to mess up Stafford in this game. So I believe the reports that Puka's going to be okay. And I'm going with Stafford as a top 5 quarterback.
All right. Seattle has allowed 255 yards, multiple touchdowns, and 23 or more fantasy points in 6-point per passing touchdown leagues to 4 of the last 5 quarterbacks they have faced. That would be Goff, who had a receiving touchdown, Daniel Jones, Brock Purdy, and Josh Allen. And let's get back to it here. Beam me up, scoundrels. Flacco or Bo Nix, 6-point per passing touchdown?
I've got Nix higher.
I also have Nix higher. I'm glad we're back to agreeing.
Yay.
Shakir or Pittman, PPR?
Shakir.
Getting a lot of beam me ups. Appreciate that. Hawkinson, Liggett, Judy, Taysom Hill, Demario Douglas, or Algier. We need 1.5 PPR.
A lot of names, Adam.
Is actually, believe it or not, down to 2 kind of easy ones for me.
Liggett and Douglas is where you're.
Yeah.
I think Liggett is probably where I'd go to.
I think Judy's the highest in my predictions.
Oh, someone has his birthday today. You could be lying. This is a great way to get your question read. Just lie and say it's your birthday. But I believe.
But what if it's not your birthday? Then aren't you gonna have karma go against you and you're gonna lose your fantasy matchup? And the advice we give you is going to be the exact wrong advice on purpose. I would drop Shakir and Waddle and pick up David Moore.
But you don't know that it's not his birthday. Are you going to have this bad karma that you speak of now because you gave him bad advice on his birthday? Just because you thought he was lying for no reason?
Great point. Great point. Shakir or what? Let's just assume it's his birthday. Shakir or Waddle?
Happy birthday, Mike. Shakir is the answer.
Waddle.
Better be your freaking birthday, Mike. Now, happy birthday, dude. Hope you have a great day.
Happy 62nd, Mike.
Darnold or Dak, Shakir or Meyers, hitting that like for you guys. Love it. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks. Dak over Darnold for me. Meyers over Shakir for me.
Darnold and Meyers.
Cool. Thanks. What is this garbage here? Fly, Eagles, fly. Come on now. Come on.
Guy who's got good taste in offenses this year. Defenses.
When my daughter wants to upset me, she'll go, "Hey, Daddy." I go, "What?" She goes, "You're a Cowboys fan," and then she just starts giggling. I'm like, "Oh," I was like, "Don't say that, no." All right, Tracy.
She's my hero.
Yeah, she's great. Tracy or Montgomery?
Tyrone Tracy, please.
Yes,
Montgomery. Here's I have a little bit of concern with Tracy that they're just going to get their butts kicked and not be able to run the ball. And then so you say, all right, well, does he have that 6-catch game or whatever he had? I forget who it was against Bengals. And I don't know because Neighbors didn't play in that game. So I don't know. Montgomery is almost foolproof. I know he has to score, but he scores every game. And we think they're going to run the air out of the ball because of the weather. So I'm going Montgomery here. It's a great point, Adam. Finkel or Einhorn? That's a great question. Obviously, Einhorn. Bucky, Gesicki, Bigsby, Tillman. We need 2.
In full PPR, I will start Tillman and Gesicki.
I'm going to go Tillman. And if Bigsby's active, I'm going to play him. And if he's not, then I'm going to hang out for Bucky.
Okay. Adam, I'm going to go make sure my lineups are good. I'll be back in a jiff.
All right. Heath, what should we do about this tanking controversy in the dynasty league?
There's no controversy. Stop your crying. I hope you're watching the show right now. We had a discussion about tanking before we started the league. We set parameters for how Adam was going to enforce whether you could tank or not. These things are all cyclical. Like, you really only got probably 8 teams out of the 12 in your league that are even willing to tank. It's like some people are just against this and don't ever want to do it.
Yeah.
So let's say we have 8 teams. Usually only 1 or 2 of those teams are really terrible at the same time. We've got this weird thing where we've got 3 or 4 teams that are all tanking, and it is kind of having a weird impact on the season.
Thanks.
And there's one guy who is like sticking to his morals and convictions, and now 4-4 with an awful team. And he's like, man, I am only going to get the 5th pick. This stinks. And so, yeah, I'm sorry that you're having a bad time.
Okay.
I agree with Heath. And if you don't like it, you can quit the league and we can find somebody to replace them.
Oh, I don't think
Wow.
it hasn't really been like that. It's been a pretty civil discussion. I appreciate the way they've gone.
No,
about
I know, but overall, if you don't like it, you can leave because the league, we already set this up. Like this was already discussed when they joined, and we wouldn't have any problem finding somebody to replace this person too.
I'm not opposed to a lottery, though. Really not.
No, it's terrible. And first off, the other thing that I wanted to make clear, and this is true of dynasty leagues, like if you're going to make a rule change that affects draft picks and what they're worth, then you need to make this rule effective at some point in the future after the point in which draft picks have been traded.
Right. Yeah.
2026 picks have already been traded in this league. So we could start a new rule in 2027, I guess.
Okay.
But I'm voting against that as well.
Back to your question. Back to your questions here. Puka, Tracy, Rashad White. We need one. I hate that.
So I'd probably just play Tracy, honestly.
Yeah, I would too. If Puka had no injury concerns, it'd be a layup. But Tracy could have a really good game. I know I just brought up those concerns, but that's compared to Montgomery, who
Washington's pass defense has been better, but their run defense still grades pretty terribly.
Yeah, stinks. All right, we need 2 here. Waddle, Andrews, Algier, Elijah Moore.
Waddle and half PPR, I'll go Andrews.
Dak Prescott or Jordan Love, Cedric Tillman or a Jags running back.
Dak and Tillman.
Chase Brown, Chuba Hubbard, Josh Jacobs, Puka Nacua. I need a running back and a flex. That is not easy.
Jacobs. And do Chuba or Chase play late?
Chase, no. I don't think so.
So I'd probably just go Jacobs and Chase Brown.
I thought you liked
Chuba. No, Chuba I've got higher.
Yeah, no, they're both at 1:00. I like Chase Brown better because I still haven't seen Chuba Hubbard have a good game with Bryce Young.
That's fair.
Goff or Geno, and then we've got a PPR. It's not. Oh, I'm sorry. It's all right, Russell. I'm not answering your question then. Only birthday questions today. Fine, we'll make an exception for Russell.
Geno.
Geno. And then
what's the other one?
Oh, sorry. I thought you were reading it. Madison, Wan'Dale Robinson, or Rashad White in PPR.
Madison.
I do think Rashad White's going to have 5 catches.
And there's big upside. I would like to leave the door open to starting Rashad White in some places if I can, because Bucky Irving's also battling a foot injury that basically just doesn't even hardly allow him to practice.
But I want to tell you about another running back who had a lot of catches against the Kansas City Chiefs, and it was Alvin Kamara. And he had 11 carries for 26 yards and 6 catches for 40 yards, and he scored 12.6 PPR fantasy points against the best run defense in football. So probably want to avoid Rashad White, even though he'll get the catches. Reed or Brian Thomas Jr., half PPR?
Brian Thomas Jr. I'd like to stay away from the Packers wide receivers, but Reed's okay as a low end number 2.
This is a great call by Bo Pesci. The Le'Veon Bell intro song is still top 1. I have got to find that. It is so. Do you remember that?
It's all right. I've got Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah. Not Jordan Le'Veon. Yeah, it's a great song.
We've had some great songs in the past.
Yeah. When I wake up in the morning. What was that? Whatever. Start 1. Irving, Tracy, Dobbins.
Tracy.
If I use Desert Flex, I know I'm in a mess. Yeah.
It's all right.
There you go. Pittman or Dowdle, PPR?
Dowdle.
Love or Stafford, Puka. Oh, Love or Stafford, and then Puka or Brian Thomas Jr.
So I did move Stafford up a couple of spots because I moved Love and Goff behind him. So I'll go Stafford and I will go Brian Thomas Jr.
Haribo is the best gummy bear. We did have this conversation about gummy bears on the mailbag, that this continuation there.
I don't eat a lot of gummy bears, but I believe my teenager agrees with you.
Okay. Need 2 in PPR. Chase, Hunt, Downs, Dobbins.
So Downs and is that Jamar Chase?
Chase Brown, I'm thinking.
So Chase Brown and Downs.
Okay. Would you bench St. Brown for Darnell Mooney or Khalil Shakir in a standard scoring league?
I would start Darnell Mooney.
Oh, holy moly. Jeremy McNichols or Taysom Hill in PPR?
I would go McNichols.
I would too. Who would like to grade a trade?
Yes.
There was a trade made in our auction league between myself and Thomas Schaefer.
Oh, okay.
I gave Thomas Schaefer J.K. Dobbins, DJ Moore, and Rico Dowdle. He gave me Jamar Chase.
I think, this feels like one of those where you need the context of the rosters, but I like the Chase side better, but I could see it being necessary for both.
So he's 4-4 and really lean on running backs.
And so he got Dowdle and Dobbins and DJ
Yes.
Moore.
Right.
I think good. I get to see.
Yeah. You
That's
mean
great.
even?
Yeah, even.
Yeah,
even-
I don't think I ripped him off. And I think even according to the trade chart, I overpaid.
Oh, Dan is making me so angry.
Why? Love this.
I mean, why this time?
Love this.
Okay, so in the Baked Burger Dynasty League, I had my soul crushed. Lost last week. I have one of the top 4 teams in the league, I think, but I lost last week. It's a very old team. I lost on the combination of the last second Russell Wilson fumble and the Bijan John Robinson scoring adjustment. Those two things conspired together to give me a loss. So I started a fire sale. I've been selling parts, and Dan has expressed interest in Travis Kelce all season long. So I sent him an offer earlier this week. I've sent several offers to people. He'd not responded. So yesterday I said, I'm thinking about just packaging all these parts off and sending them to Thomas because Thomas is going to win the league. Would you just tell me if you will accept that trade or not? Yes, I'm sorry. I'll be home by 5 o'clock. I will look at it and tell you then. Never responds to the trade and now is sending out league messages trying to make a last second trade before 1 p.m. so that he could get a tight end and a wide receiver. And I offered him Travis Kelce and Romeo Doubs.
Oh man, this is great. I love it. All right, let's do some rapid fire here to make up for lost time. DeAndre Hopkins or Cedric Tillman? Or Dobbs.
Tillman.
Okay, I need 2. Jacobs, Hunt, Tracy, Reed, Flowers.
I will start Jacobs and Tracy.
Agreed.
Oh, jeez. Tight end premium. Taysom Hill, Ertz, or Hawkinson?
Sounds painful, but it's not. Hawkinson.
Ertz.
Mostert or Algier? I think we are.
Or I go Mostert over Algier.
Raheem. The
Guess I
dream.
thought we answered that, but I don't know that we did. Dobbins or Jacobs in PPR? Oh, happy birthday, Dominic. Not really.
Jacobs.
Happy birthday, Dominic. I agree, Jacobs.
Marvin Harrison or Josh Downs, rest of season, half PPR.
I will give the knee-jerk reaction of Downs.
I would say Downs. And Adam, if we have 5,000 people watching, I mean, how many people's birthday should it be today? Do the
I would
math.
say at least 12. It was my birthday at some point. Downs or Pollard?
Downs.
So we don't know when. Downs.
Sorry. Thoughts on In-N-Out Burger? Very good. And how are we feeling about Puka today?
Really like the versatility that they offer you at In-N-Out if you know the secret menu. I do like In-N-Out Burger. Not as good as Cookout, though.
Never heard of Cookout. Full
Oh,
PPR.
Speaking of places you can go 2 days in a row.
Hunt or Chase Brown?
You guys would
Wow.
not believe what I had last
Oh,
night.
awesome. Chase Brown.
What'd you have?
I don't know if I should say it.
You should say it.
It's okay.
You have like people food.
I had a fast food that I've not had in a long
Subway.
time.
You had Subway.
No, are you kidding me?
You you had
That, like you're thinking about something that like you just don't eat anymore because you've grown up, and then
Then you have taco.
you don't have to tell us what it was, but did you enjoy it?
yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, how could it be bad?
Okay. Are you kidding me? Chubb or Deontay Johnson in PPR?
Chubb.
I'm gonna say Chubb. Just too many questions about Deontay in his first game in Baltimore.
It's my birthday next Sunday. Great. Ask your freaking question that no. Non-PPR, DJ Moore, Josh Downs, or Marvin Harrison Jr.
Downs.
Yeah, I'm still gonna say Downs.
You said non. I'll say Harrison.
Okay.
I'll still go with Downs.
Achan, Montgomery, or Tracy in non-PPR? Need two.
I think I'd sit Montgomery.
Yeah. As we've established, they'd sit Montgomery. I'd sit Tracy.
Yeah.
Eckler or Chubb, half PPR?
I'll take Eckler.
Yeah.
Sit one of these guys. Cup, Neighbors, London, St. Brown.
I think we answered this one already.
No, I don't.
I said St. Brown.
I don't think London was part of this.
And do we know the format?
Heart. It's a heart league.
Okay, so I heart Neighbors a lot. I heart London. If it's non-PPR, I'll sit Cup. And if it's full PPR, I'll sit Cup.
I'm saying I'm on St. Brown.
I guess I'm sitting Neighbors, but I feel like Neighbors versus London. Yeah, probably Neighbors. Harrison or Shakir? PPR and point for
Marvin.
Yes, I agree.
Oh, it's someone's mom's birthday. Oh, I missed your question. I'll try to find it. Mayfield or Jordan Love?
Love as of now.
we're getting a little bit too late for that, Dave. It's Baker Mayfield.
Well, no, you can get the weather report right before the game.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So, yeah, I'm not.
I mean, if it's like a total downpour and really windy, I'd start Baker. Yeah.
Shake Shack, In-N-Out, or Chick-fil-A. I don't really consider Shake Shack fast food. It's like kind of like comparing. It's like comparing Chipotle to Taco Bell, you know. So, but Shake Shack is so good.
Chick-fil-A is the answer.
Ridley, Eckler, or Coleman? Pick two.
I'm sitting Eckler.
I'm sitting Coleman.
Jordan Love, Tua, or Derek Carr?
It's easy.
I'm going Love.
I've always been a big Derek Carr guy. I've always talked about how underrated he is as a quarterback in the NFL. Yeah, I'm going Derek Carr.
I'm trying to find this one that says I'm down really bad at running back. It's an interesting. Oh, I'm so close to clicking it. Here we go. Down really bad at running back. Justice Hill, Jeremy McNichols, or Jeremy Chestnut.
I'd go McNichols.
Jeremy Chestnut.
Wait,
who is that? Did you mean Joey Chestnut?
Julius Chestnut. I knew it was a J, and it was Jeremy McNichols, and it just got me there. What are you going with, Dave?
McNichols.
I am going with Chestnut Hill.
Chestnut Hill sounds like it's where Boston College plays, right? Marvin Harrison Jr., Romeo Dobbs, or Tillman?
Marvin.
Where does Boston College play?
I am never
in Massachusetts
ever trading Travis Kelce to Dan.
Isn't they play on like
Make an offer, Thomas. You got 5 minutes.
Okay. Get Andrews or Hawkinson?
If it's full PPR, I'll take the chance on Hawkinson.
I'm going Andrews.
Yeah, half or non, I'll go Andrews too.
Oh, it's Steven's daughter's birthday tomorrow. We love it.
Oh,
Stafford
great.
or Mahomes, Caleb Williams or Flacco?
Stafford, Flacco.
Mahomes, Caleb.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Star Trek. Yeah, right. Exactly. Star Trek. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Puka, Harrison, Downs. We need two.
Puka
I'm
Downs.
sitting Harrison.
Yes, at Harrison. Oh, this is Mike's one of those people who doesn't have a birthday. That's so sad.
Oh man, tough.
Marvin Harrison Jr. or Tyrone Tracy Jr.
Why don't we just make it where his birthday is yesterday?
Then he missed he has to wait a whole year to
Yeah,
celebrate his
that's-
birthday.
yeah,
That
that's
sucks
what
for
you get when you
Mike.
don't get a birthday.
Tyrone Tracy.
You've got something to look forward to now for the whole year. I agree, Tracy.
Mike's birthday is December 25th. Totally gets to celebrate. Everyone gets to focus on him. Hunt or Dobbins, PPR?
Dobbins.
I was born in football off season. Okay. Douglas. Yeah, me too. June. Shout out to the June birthdays. Douglas or Wan'Dale Robinson?
What was were you raising the roof?
I was, yeah.
I'm going with Demario Douglas.
All right, we have a few minutes left. Bills or Eagles, DST?
Philadelphia.
Did you say Philadelphia? Because that would have been pretty badass.
No, Thrilladelphia. If I had said Philadelphia, then I don't know if people would know what I meant.
Right, and then
I have the Eagles higher.
Yes, the Eagles are my top.
No, I have the Bills higher.
Oh, okay.
I love the Bills.
At least you said the 5 times in a row. Myers or Tillman, PPR?
Myers.
Yes, great point, Thomas. Dan also sent an email to the entire league telling us what Jameis's stats were, just because he could give us a film breakdown while you're at it, Dan.
It'll only take 30 minutes. Goff or Flacco, and Dobbins or Montgomery?
I currently have Goff over Flacco. If the weather's bad, pivot to Flacco. And when I say bad, really bad, Dobbins over Montgomery, please.
I will go with Dobbins and Flacco.
Happy Halloween, Hubbard or Jacobs?
Jacobs.
Yep.
By the way, Heath, did you have a nice Halloween?
Wonderful. It was fantastic.
Did you actually stay home or did you go
really
out?
enjoyed it? I did a variety of activities. Like I said, we had a trunk or treat last night. I dressed up as Gru.
Nice.
It was really good.
Did you give out candy?
What?
You gave out candy?
Yeah, I stood at a trunk and gave out candy. Nobody was knocking on my door and terrorizing my dog.
Okay. Happy birthday, Colin Kaepernick, if that's true. Josh Jacobs, Chase Brown, or Tony Pollard?
Jacobs.
Jacobs is my favorite.
Barry, I'm going to email. Oh, he's right. I'm going to Google. He's right. If you were lying about Kaepernick's birthday, I was going to give you the wrong answer. Josh Jacobs, Eckler, or Tracy? We need 2.
I'm going to sit Eckler.
I'm going to also sit Eckler.
Good for you.
Pollard, Shakir, or DJ Moore?
Tony
Pollard.
Boy, Tracy versus Eckler making my stomach hurt. That's a tough
No,
one.
I like Tracy.
I like Eckler.
I like them both.
Then start Eckler.
No, that's okay.
That's the beautiful thing about fantasy. You start who you want.
You know,
Horrible thing about
why
fantasy.
do we still have Stephon Diggs sitting on our bench?
Yeah, I don't know, because we missed our chance to drop him because he played Thursday.
Is the chance gone? I mean, he's done for the year.
Oh, we can't add anybody now because he's team played.
Oh, so you're not that is what
we're starting Rashad Bateman.
I know. I looked for better options. We're screwed. Tucker Kraft or Xavier Leggett in the flex?
You make all the mistakes that people who don't listen to our podcast make.
I know. Kraft or Leggett?
Leggett.
Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Absolutely not. Jayden Reed or Chase Brown?
Brown.
2 more here. Cup or BJT?
BTG.
No.
I'll say Cup.
If Puka's out, which we don't expect, I'll go Cup. But there we go. Last one. Calvin Cook? No, we don't want Dalvin.
Let Calvin cook.
Bigsby or ETN? I made that decision. I went with ETN in a PPR league.
I'd go with James Cook over Calvin Ridley, and I'd go with ETN over Bigsby, regardless of format, but especially full PPR.
I'm going Bigsby.
Bigsby feels slightly more injured to me than ETN. And that is just based on nothing except for like the way the reports were sort of talking about the two of them.
That's another one where I like for all the Jags, we've got a pretty consistent history of Doug Peterson's injury reporting. Like I'd like to have another option still.
Yeah. All right, cool. Happy birthday to all of you celebrating, which is half the audience. And have a great day. Enjoy your Sunday, your football Sunday. And we will talk to you at about 8 o'clock with a recap of the Sunday action. See you later. Go win your league.